Hello, my name is Alexis Tershay and I'm a student in the Marriage and Family Therapy, Art Therapy Psychology graduate program at Notre Dame de Namur University. I am one of the recipients of the Mills Peninsula Scholarship, awarded to me for my thesis research, working with individuals in San Mateo County. My research, which I will present here, is entitled Group Art Therapy in Chicana Adolescents, Exploring Hope, Connectedness, and Resiliency. In order to fully understand the importance of this thesis research, it is significant to explore the population studied. Latinos and Chicanos in the United States. The Latino population in the United States has nearly reached 58 million in 2016 and is 18% of the nation's population, 18% of all youth, and is the largest ethnic group in the nation. In addition to this, 68% of the population of Chicanos are growing up in families that have less educational capital than any other Latinos in the nation. Despite being the largest ethnic minority group in the United States, Latinos have been noted to have the lowest levels of educational attainment than any other ethnic group. According to the United States Census Bureau, the high school dropout rate for Latinos is 17.6%, and lower educational attainment has been associated with a higher risk of incarceration and lower mental and physical health. In addition to this, Chicanos have more experience with gangs than any other adolescents, with 56% saying gangs were in their schools versus the 40% of other Latinos. In addition, Chicanos are nearly twice as likely than any other adolescents to say that a friend or relative is gang affiliated, with an astounding 36%. Contributing to this, Latina adolescents have the highest rate of teen parenthood of any major racial or ethnic group in the country. According to the United States Census Bureau, about 1 in 4 Latina adolescents become a mother before the age of 19. Depression is another risk factor facing Latina adolescents today. According to Zayas, 1 in 7 Latina adolescents attempt suicide, with the highest rate among ages 14 to 15. One incorporated area, San Mateo County, has a substantial 73.1% Latino population. In this community, 34.3% of students do not graduate from high school, 7.3% are gang affiliated, 15% have been bullied or harassed, and an outstanding 34% are considered obese, which is all considered high based on comparison to the national statistics. The research consisted of 6 separate 90-minute group sessions where participants meant to create art which focused on themes related to increased connectedness with peers, increased sense of hope for future, and strengthen overall resiliency. Youth then participated in discussions afterwards about the art and the art-making process. Adolescents participate in their weekly mentoring groups with the addition of these art therapy interventions, which was designed to meet the above-mentioned objectives. And although the research was predominantly phenomenological in nature, pre- and post-test assessments were utilized to provide additional insight. There were 4 hypotheses for this research. It was hypothesized that at-risk Chicana adolescents would benefit from the addition of art therapy interventions to further their resiliency in hopes of overcoming the odds of psychological, social, and economic problems in the future. It was also hypothesized that there would be an increase in social connectedness, as measured by the Social Connectedness Scale Revised, an increase of hopefulness, as measured by the Children's Hope Scale, and an increase in resiliency, as measured by the Child and Youth Resiliency Measure 28. The next section will include the results from the quantitative and qualitative data from my research study about mentoring and art therapy with at-risk Chicana adolescent girls. A total of 14 adolescent girls participated in the study. The participants were all female and ranged from ages 13 to 16 years old. All the participants identified as Chicana or Latina and had parents born in Mexico and reported to never having previous experience with art therapy. Half of the participants reported living primarily with their only mother, 6 participants lived with both parents, and only 1 participant primarily lived with their father. 11 participants reported living in a bilingual household of English and Spanish, and 3 participants reported that their primary language at home was Spanish. The quantitative data gathered in the study was collected from the Social Connectedness Scale Revised, the Children's Hope Scale, and the Children's and Youth Resiliency Measure 28. The data compared the pre-test and post-test intervention tests and were analyzed to identify any changes in connectedness, hope, and resiliency from the beginning of the sessions to the end of the 6-week study. Measures of central tendency, dispersion, and a paired sample t-test was used to compare the changes of the pre- and post-test and to determine statistical significance and generalizability of the results of the Social Connected Scale Revised, Children's Hope Scale, and the Children's and Youth Resiliency Measure 28. The quantitative data reflected the benefits of group art therapy with Chicana adolescents and was congruent with the overall hypotheses. As a group, the overall mean scores for the three measures increased, suggesting an increase of connectedness, sense of hope, and overall resiliency. However, only one out of the three scales were proven to be statistically significant, which is the Social Connectedness Scale revised. The following slides will provide examples of the different themes and experiences that emerged throughout the 6-week research study. Themes are derived by the researcher through observations of artwork, participation, and group discussions. Themes such as family, teamwork, hopeful, strength, and positivity were noted. Qualitative data would be further explored in depth by examining case samples for individual directives. Relevant information, artwork, and quotes from participants' relative responses will be utilized to further illustrate the experience of the individual. All names have been changed in order to protect confidentiality of participants. For week 1, group cohesion and connectedness was a focus, as highlighted through the first directive Pratt puzzle. Medium used for this directive included markers and number 2 pencil, colored pencils, and oil pastels. The directive instructed participants to decorate a puzzle piece individually and upon completion put their pieces together with other members of the group. The directive appeared to be received positively during reflective discussion from each participant, as many highlighted themes of togetherness, family, and teamwork. One participated stated, "No matter how different we are able to come together as a family." The directive for the second session was Milagros. The directive instructed participants to create their own personal milagro, and medium used for this directive included various items, including miscellaneous tactile materials. The directive appeared to be received positively by all participants during reflective discussions, as many highlighted themes of hope and prayers for success, love, family, friendship, freedom, and happiness. Other themes included gratitude and appreciation. Carmel was a 15-year-old female in high school. She was a Chicana and was born in the United States. Her mom immigrated from the United States from Mexico and was the primary caregiver. She is bilingual and fluent in English and Spanish. Carmel has a history of trauma and previously involved in high-risk behaviors and reported having aggressive behavior. She actively participated in all 6 sessions of the research study and provided insightful responses which appear to be genuine. Different themes emerged in her responses and artwork throughout the 6-week study. During reflective discussions and through Caramel's explanation of artwork, the researcher noted different themes of resilience, optimism, perseverance, and teamwork. In her Milagro directive, Caramel discussed her hopes for future and her gratitude for her involvement in the mentoring program, as she felt that her quality of life and mindset has drastically improved. Previously, she explained that, "Before, all I envisioned for myself was to be the biggest and baddest drug dealer. Now I'm not interested in that. I want to go to college, play soccer, and get a good job to support my family." In her Milagro, she continued to explain that yellow was an optimistic color which was congruent with her overall mindset now, and that she hopes to be able to achieve her new dreams, which she never thought before was possible. For week 3, the directive was to create a muñeca of a real or imaginary hero. Medium included miscellaneous fabric and tactile materials and muslin cloth ragdoll. Each participant was given a ragdoll for a template to work on individually. The directive appeared to be positively received by all participants during reflective discussion, as themes of resiliency, awareness, and respect and hope were highlighted. Characteristics that emerged during discussion while participants described their hero included trustworthiness, honest, kind, brave, resilient, respectful, patient, selfless, and independent. Nora was a 13-year-old female in middle school. She was a Chicana and was born in the United States. Her father immigrated from the United States from Mexico and was a primary caregiver. Nora is bilingual and fluent in English and Spanish. She has a history of trauma and was previously reported having depressive-like symptoms. She actively participated in all 6 sessions of research study and provided thoughtful responses. Different themes emerged in her artwork throughout the 6-week study. During reflective discussions and through her explanation of artwork, the researcher noted different themes such as hope and optimism. She frequently intentionally utilized the color yellow through the 6-week study. She reflected with her muñeca as she said, "Yellow is a special color for me. It is my favorite color and represents happiness and positivity. The flowers represent kindness, softness, and growth, all of the things that I think a hero should have." The first directive of week 4 was the coffee filter directive. The directive required using washable markers and permanent markers. The instructions were for the participants to first write down all the bad words, messages that they might tell themselves, or that people may have said to them using a washable marker on the coffee filter. Next, with the permanent marker, the participants are asked to write down all the positive words. Lastly, participants were required to rinse using water. The directive appeared to be received unfavorably during the process. Upon completion, however, a majority of the participants reacted positively and enthusiastically, after witnessing the washing off of the negative messages. During the reflective discussion, participants highlighted themes of optimism, empowerment, and hope. Many described the process as powerful, insightful, positive, and impressive. Zaina was a 16-year-old female in high school. She is a Chicana and was born in the United States. Her mother immigrated from Mexico. Zaina is also bilingual and fluent in English and Spanish. She has a history of involvement in high-risk behaviors. Zaina participated in all 6 sessions of the research study and provided thoughtful responses which appear to be genuine. During the discussion, she appeared enthusiastic while reflecting on her experience, stating, "That was very powerful. I feel that it was reflective of life because you should wash off negative stuff and focus on only the positive." The second directive of the session was the nicho. The directive instructed participants to create the altar box for their values. It would appear to be received positively by all participants during reflective questioning as the researcher noticed themes of resiliency, awareness, optimism, and respect. Values which emerged during the discussion, which were described by participants, included family, friends, happiness, respect, and loyalty. Habiba was a 15-year-old female in high school, a Chicana, and was born in the United States. Her parents immigrated to the United States from Mexico and is fluent in English and Spanish. She was previously reported having anxious-like symptoms. She actively participated in 5 out of the 6 sessions of the research study and provided responses which appear to be genuine. During reflective discussion and through Habiba's explanation of artwork, researcher noticed different themes of connectedness, optimism, hopefulness. Her explanation of her nicho highlighted her overall experience throughout the study. Habiba appeared invested in her artwork as she entitled her nicho, "M has the most meaning." Habiba appeared proud and optimistic as she reflected the positive experience she had creating her artwork and expressed her fondness with her peers. The second to last directive was the group bridge. The instructions require the participants to use materials provided or found to create a bridge together as a group. Different mediums were provided, such as boxes and recycled materials. The directive appeared to be received unfavorably during the process as different members of the group had different ideas. During the directive process, the participants divided themselves into 3 separate groups. Upon completion of the 3 bridges, each group decided to join together to create one cohesive bridge. During the reflective questioning, the researcher noted different themes such as resilience, perseverance, and teamwork. Participants described the beginning process negatively, as words such as challenging and frustrating were often used. However, participants described the completed product as creative, collaborative, comfortable, and unique. The final directive of the research study was a group mural, which instructed the participants to create a mural reflecting on what they have learned and experienced together as a group. Medium provided was a large white sheet of paper, markers, oil pastels, and a number 2 pencil. The directive appeared to be received positively during reflective discussions from each participant, as many highlighted themes of togetherness, creativity, optimism, family, and teamwork. Participants described the completed product as colorful, creative, happiness, bright, teamwork, and unique. One participant stated, "I loved it. Everyone was represented in our second family, and we created this together." Many participants requested to keep the mural on the wall. The results of this research reflected the benefits of group art therapy with Chicana adolescents as previously discussed. The study also highlighted the link between group work and social connectedness with at-risk adolescents. The results of the study were congruent with the hypotheses that the inclusion of art therapy into mentoring group would increase hope, connectedness, and resiliency. Quantitative and qualitative findings from the study suggest an increase of hope, connectedness, and resiliency possibly occurred after the art therapy interventions. The case examples in the study displayed participants benefiting from the participation over the course of the 6-week group. Furthermore, the findings of this research study could provide art therapists with additional insight and benefit them with working with Chicana adolescents. I would like to sincerely thank all the support and guidance I received from everybody during this research process. I would especially like to thank my cohort, my friends, and faculty in the Graduate Art Therapy Department at Notre Dame de Namur University. And last but not least, of course, I would like to thank my family for their continuous love and support. And I would like to thank you, the viewer. Thank you for watching.